Most wooden flags look flat, but this one has real depth and movement. Turning a few basic 2x4s into a wavy American flag like this is one of the most satisfying builds you'll ever do. Before we get started, if you want to use the exact same setup, all of the tools, stains, and materials used in this build are linked down in the description below. In this video, we're building a wavy wooden American flag, measuring 13.8 by 26 inches and taking it all the way from raw lumber to a finished piece ready to hang. We're starting out with some basic 2x4s. Nothing fancy here. Just standard lumber you can pick up anywhere. First step is cutting them down to 26 inches so everything is consistent and ready to go. Once they're cut, we move over to the table saw and begin ripping them into strips, right around 1 inch wide. This is where the flag really starts to come together, piece by piece. Take your time here and try to keep your cuts as consistent as possible. It'll make everything easier later on. With all the strips cut, we line them up and clamp them together. Now we can start sketching out our wave pattern across the boards. There's no perfect template for this. You can make the waves as subtle or dramatic as you want. I like to keep it a little uneven to give it a more natural, flowing look. Once the lines are drawn, it's time to bring those waves to life. Using an angle grinder, we carefully carve along the guidelines, shaping the wood and adding depth. This step is where the flag really transforms. You'll start to see that movement and texture come through. Just take it slow and let the tool do the work. After carving, we move into sanding, and this is easily the most time-intensive part of the entire build. We start with a rough 40 grit sandpaper to knock down the heavy grinder marks and smooth out the deeper cuts. Then we gradually work our way up to 120 grit to refine the surface and get it ready for finishing. It takes some patience, but it makes a huge difference in the final result. And don't forget to sand the back. It's easy to overlook, but it helps everything feel more complete. With the board still clamped together, we move on to one of the most satisfying steps, burning the wood. Using a torch, we lightly go over the surface to bring out the grain and add that rustic, weathered character. You don't need to overdo it here, just enough to add some contrast and depth. Now it's time for color. For this build, I'm using Minwax water-based solid color stains in navy and barn red. These are thicker than traditional stains, almost like a paint, so they give really solid coverage. Before applying anything, we mark out the union. For this size flag, I measure about 10.5 inches across the first 7 stripes and draw a clean line so we know exactly where the blue section will go. Once that's marked, we separate out the stripes for the red and start taping off the edges. This part takes a little patience, but clean lines make a big difference. I've experimented with other methods like using razor blades, but honestly, tape has been the most reliable and easiest to control. Quick tip here, don't forget about the edges and ends of your boards. It's a small detail, but it really helps tie everything together when the piece is finished. With everything taped, we apply the red stain to the stripes and let that fully dry. Then we come back and move on to the blue union section. I found the simplest way to handle this is to take the strips for the union section, clamp them together, tape off the entire area, and then apply your stain all at once. Again, taking our time to keep those lines sharp and clean. Just make sure to separate the boards right after staining, otherwise they'll start sticking together. Once all the stain has dried, it's time to bring everything together with the glue up. We apply glue to each board and clamp them tightly. One important thing here, wipe away any excess glue right away. Since the boards are already stained, you won't be able to sand dried glue off without affecting the finish. Before the glue fully sets, be sure to flip the project over and clean up the backside. Scraping off that excess glue now will make sanding and finishing much easier later on. I like to use a plastic spackler for this. It's firm enough to remove the glue without damaging the wood. Taking a minute here saves you a lot of effort down the line. After the glue has set, it's time for one of the most rewarding parts, adding the stars. For this wavy flag, I'm using vinyl star decals. Again, I'll link these below if you want to check them out. They also come in stencil versions, but for a surface like this with curves and depth, decals tend to give a cleaner, more consistent result. Stencils work great on flat flags, but decals really shine on wavy builds like this. Take your time here. Once it sticks, it's hard to reposition. Once you're lined up, press the decal down starting from the center and work your way outward. This helps prevent air bubbles. Use a squeegee, credit card, or flat edge to firmly press the decal onto the wood surface. Then slowly peel back the transfer tape at an angle. If any part of the decal lifts, just press it back down and continue. And that's it. You're left with a clean, sharp design. Once the stars are applied and everything is looking good, we move on to sealing the flag. I'm using a triple thick polyurethane for this step. A couple of light coats is all you need to protect the surface and help everything pop. Try not to go too heavy. Thicker coats can lead to drips and an uneven finish, especially with all the contours in the wood. After the finish has dried, we flip it over and give the back one final sanding just to clean everything up and smooth it out. To wrap things up, we add some mounting hardware. In this case, a set of alligator clips. You can also swap these out for other hanging options depending on your setup. But these keep it simple and secure. And just like that, we've taken a stack of basic 2x4s and turned it into a finished wavy wooden American flag with a ton of character, depth, and detail. Every step along the way really adds to that final look, and it's always worth seeing it all come together at the end. If you're interested in any of the tools, stains, or materials used in this project, be sure to check out the links in the description below. And if you enjoyed this build and want to see more woodworking, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one.